Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Real Late Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the 1991 film My Own Private Idaho, directed by Gus Van Sant, and starring the late River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves. The story follows these two young men who are sort of prostitutes in a way. They're like male gigolos. Basically, they go around the country, taking money for certain activities. And Keanu Reeves is like the son of this wealthy man, and after his dad dies, he's supposed to inherit a lot of money. And one of his best friends is River Phoenix, who is another male gigolo, and they go on an adventure across the country to find his family and his mother, River Phoenix's mother, and such. And they go to Italy, and it's a weird, interesting movie, and it's kind of hard to explain at times. The movie, if you watch it, it's very Shakespearean, like the way that these characters talk. Like there's some times where they talk normal, and then there's other times where they go off on these, monologues where it's like just something out of like a modern Shakespeare. And I can't remember off the top of my head what it's referring to, because there is a specific one. I did look it up a while back, but I can't remember what it was. But it is definitely inspired by Shakespeare, and that definitely shows in the film. There's a lot of interesting filmatic techniques. Like there are scenes, it does have to deal with sexuality and stuff like that. And there are scenes, but there are quote unquote sex scenes. But instead of like showing, like a normal one like they would have in movies, there's like scenes where they're like doing stuff, but it's like in like just like frames, like they're not moving. It's like they're almost miming it, and then they'll like do like 5 or 6 frames of them. It looks like they're doing stuff. And then it cuts to the next scene, and so that was supposed to be the sex scene without the sex in it, if that makes sense. Everybody does a pretty good job throughout the movie. It's very early '90s, so it's very odd, but it's very well done. River Phoenix does a good job. He plays like this narcoleptic, and it's weird because there are times in the movie where he's like just standing there and he just falls asleep. As if you don't know what narcolepsy is, that's what that means. You kind of just have a tendency to randomly fall asleep. But yeah, his character gets, will like fall asleep somewhere, and then he'll get taken to another town and stuff like that. And that continues on throughout the movie. And him and Keanu Reeves kind of, at one point, you like think if they're going to get together, like they're going to become a couple. But just watch the movie and see how that unfolds. The Gus Van Sant directed the film. He directed movies like Milk, who is this tells a story about Harvey Milk, and so you have a director who's gay directing his characters that are like this. He can bring that sort of realism. And there is a scene where they're in a diner and they're talking about there's these people who walk the streets at night and solicit favors for money. Got to be careful what I say. And they talk about stuff, and it's almost like a documentary style, like somebody's there with a camera, getting like a news story, or like one of those HBO specials from back in the day. And it's definitely interesting, and I kind of want to hear more of like stuff like that. Was kind of interesting, but what we got was interesting, and definitely I think you should check it out. I don't know if it's I might be close to one of River Phoenix's last movies. I can't remember exactly when he passed away, but he died fairly young, and which is unfortunate. But I recommend checking it out. It's called My Own Private Idaho. And yeah, with that being said, thank you for listening. Check out my other episodes. I just did They Live and The Whole 9 Yards, so please check those out on the Real Late Podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Check it out. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.